WrestleMania 41 is next weekend, and I am incredibly underwhelmed. WrestleMania is supposed to be the biggest show of the year, when the company finally locks in and gives us the best stories, the best matches, but this year, it feels very different. Let's go back to last year. WrestleMania 40 was an anomaly. There is no easy way to say that. It was an anomaly. It doesn't happen. It was one of the best builds I have ever seen in the WWE, and I've watched WWE since I was 2 years old. So for about 18 years. So obviously this year is not going to come close to the build for WrestleMania 40. But if we look back one more year to WrestleMania 39, they had it a lot more structured and it felt like it was WrestleMania, especially when it was only 11 days away. With that being said, they haven't figured it out. WrestleMania is next weekend. And it doesn't feel like that. Normally, after the Rumble, you push down every story possible for Mania down your viewer's throat until they're about to hurl. My throat is perfectly fine and there's plenty of room to go. To their credit, they've announced 10 matches already, including the 3 matches that were announced this Monday Night Raw. With that being said, there are plenty of matches that still haven't been announced yet. For example, all 3 of the tag team matches for the tag team titles still haven't been announced. For Monday Night Raw, I would assume it's going to be the War Raiders versus the New Day after this past Monday Night Raw. For the women's tag team champion, I am really underwhelmed with that because after this past year, you would assume that they would at least get a good story for actually elevating the fucking tag team division with Bianca and Jade and then Bianca and Naomi. Now the tag team division is non-existent and they're gonna have a gauntlet at SmackDown. So they will have a tag team match at the very least at WrestleMania, but there's no story there. It's just, oh, this makeshift tag team, let's put them against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And honestly, Liv and Raquel deserves a lot more, especially Liv after the year that she's had. And when it comes to the SmackDown tag team side, it's all over the place. They're defending the tag team champions every single week, and I am all for that, and I really hope that all 5 tag teams go to WrestleMania for a ladder match or something like that because they all deserve it. They've elevated that tag team division so much, and I'm so proud of it, and I really want to see all of them get utilized for WrestleMania. Both women's mid-card title matches have not been announced yet, and it doesn't really look like the IC title is going to be announced at all because Lyra Valkyria is set to team up with Bayley in the gauntlet match to potentially challenge Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and they're the biggest threat in the match. They're the biggest favorite to win, so I assume that they're just gonna win and they're gonna completely have like a women's IC title. The first year that she's the women's IC title, and she's not gonna defend it at WrestleMania. I hate it, especially because she's just defended the title against Bayley and now they're teaming up. What the hell? Also, they could easily have done a Bayley versus Roxanne Perez for WrestleMania. The feud was amazing, the build was great, the story was fantastic, and they completely ruined it. And it would have been fantastic for Roxanne Perez too because of the fact that it would have been her first main roster feud and it would have elevated her to the main roster audience, especially with someone like Bayley, who is incredible in the ring. But they just ruined it, and now it looks like it's going to be Bayley and Lyra versus Liv and Raquel. It's going to be a great match, let's be honest. But it's not the match that we want, like, at all. For the women's US title scene, it looks like it's going to be Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega, but they could completely ruin that too and just have her defend it at, like, the go-home show for WrestleMania. This is crazy. Also, with Kevin Owens being injured, which is incredibly unfortunate, and I'm really sad about that because he's one of my favorite wrestlers, like genuinely. I love Kevin Owens. But it also means that Randy Orton doesn't have a match yet at WrestleMania because his match with Kevin Owens got canceled. Hopefully, they go Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis. It could work, but I don't think they have the balls for it, to be honest. What I'm trying to say is the Mania card is not finished, and there's only one more week until we, the viewers, have to sit down and lock in for WrestleMania, and it's so underwhelming. The best feud for this Mania very clearly are John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Champion, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, and then Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Those are the three best feuds, and there's no comparison. The three best feuds, hands down. I don't know how to describe it, man. It doesn't feel like it's WrestleMania in 11 days. Please lock in. Like, please.